No, good evening, all. Welcome to K6GA, the Hillbilly Ham. We're going to stream the TechNet tonight.
This is KC0NSC. This is your 2-minute warning. TechNet will commence in 2 minutes.
As you see, KC0NSC is the net control tonight. That'll start in about 2 minutes, so we'll take a standby and wait for the net to start, and hopefully you enjoy the stream tonight. By the way, I'm Dave, and thanks for joining the stream tonight.
This is KC0NSC. As they say down in Louisiana, how y'all are? I'll be your net control for the Sunday Night TechNet, brought to you by the members of the Southwest Missouri Amateur Radio Club. This is a rag chew net, and it runs in roundtable format. We're going to have a suggested topic of discussion tonight, and it's going to be HF receive-only antennas. Do you have one? Have you considered one? If you do have one, what type is it, and how's that working for you? This net meets to discuss issues of pertinence to the technology of ham radio, and we also expect to do welfare checks during this net. So y'all sit back and have fun, and we'll commence with announcements first. Anybody have any announcements? And we also expect to do welfare checks during this net. So y'all sit back and have fun. And it sounds like no one out there wants to talk about anything, so we'll just get going. The first check-in on my list is Robert out in Republic, KC0WSE. Robert, how are you doing this evening?
Well, good evening, Tom, and everybody on the net. Hey, I'm feeling great, but my voice may break up here. I've managed to catch some sort of something that just seems to have settled right on my vocal cords. So anyway, I might start grumbling here in a little bit, who knows. So far as the topic of the evening, HF receive-only antennas. Do not have one. Whenever I do have a short-wave receiver that right now is sitting in a closet, and whenever I had it up and running, I just threw a wire out a window, and that was the antenna. So I guess that would count, but the antenna is no longer out. So don't have one right at the present. And other than that, it's been a pretty good day today. We stayed home today because I didn't want to start coughing in the middle of church. Because once I get coughing, I kind of have a tendency just to, well, I'm I'm kind of noisy when I cough. So anyway, we decided to pass that up and watched it on YouTube. So anyway, that's all I got for the first round. Back to you, Tom. KC0WSE.
All right, Robert. Sounds like the viruses are going around. I hope you get over that real soon. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for your comments. We'll catch you in the second round, and we'll move on to KE6GAE. David out in Rogersville. How are you this evening?
KC0NSC and the rest of the net. This is KE6GAE. Good evening, Tom, and everybody on the net. Oh, we're doing pretty good. Just trying to get ready to go back to work tomorrow. Got to work 4 days this week. Didn't get in time and quick enough to get Friday off, so I've got to be one of the ones that work Friday. The topic of tonight, I've thought about putting up a mag loop receive antenna, but I got other antennas I need to put up first. So right now, the only antenna I'm using is for HF is my 6BTV. It's my receive and transmit antenna. Other than that, that's about all we got for this first round. So we'll pass it back to net control. KE6GAE, back to net control.
All right, David. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for your comments. We'll catch you in the second round. Next is KC0QA, Richard, here in Springfield. How are you?
Well, I'm doing okay. I used to have a shortwave radio, and the antenna that was part of it's one of those little extendable telescoping little thingies didn't work too well, so I got wise one day and strung a wire out off the back edge of the house, and it worked fairly well, and at some point in time wound up taking it down and before my days of becoming general, and put something else up, and something I could use. I think I cut it down and made it into 6 meters. I'm sitting here playing on my laptop. Apparently Windows 7 doesn't like NetBlogger, so I'm using my Windows 10, and I'm doing it with a remote piece of software, so I can look at my other computer while I'm upstairs at the downstairs computer. We'll catch you second round, KC0QA.
You're running a fan over there tonight? I hear some little sound in the background.
Yeah, there's my power supply has got a couple of things sitting on top of it, and it usually runs a little warm, so I found a power supply from a computer that something had died in it, but weirdly enough, the fan was still alive, so I took the little fan and stuck it behind there, and the other thing I've got is a overhead light that is one of those ring lights. It's fluorescent, so you may be hearing a little buzz coming out of that too. Plus, I've got an inverter sitting here that's turned on.
Okay, you got lots going on there. Yeah, I just want to let you know it's audible, but it's not covering you up, and it's not objectionable. So just let you know. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for your comments. We'll catch you in the second round. We go now to KE0MAD, Sean, over in Aurora. How are you this evening?
Yeah, hello, Tom and everybody there on net. This is KE0MAD. Yeah, doing good. Receive antennas. Well, I do use my 80 meter / 160 meter antenna as a receive antenna when the band is really noisy. Other than that, a dedicated receive antenna, not really, but the 80 160 dipole, it makes a great receiver antenna. And so sometimes I'll run it on a different antenna port just to use as a receive antenna to get the noise level down. But other than that, nope, no dedicated receive antenna here. Haven't really had a use for one yet. I I'm sure there is a good use, but I got pretty good transmitting antennas, so I have pretty good ears most of the time. Anyway, that's all I got this time around. Back to there, Tom. KC0NSC K0M8.
All right, Sean. Thanks for checking in tonight, and thanks for your comments. We'll catch you in the second round. Next on the list, KQ0Q. Man, I did a Kevin on that. He has trouble with that call sign too. I apologize, Lance.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, it confuses some people. You're not the only one. I've had a lot of people go, wow, that's a mouthful. It really shouldn't be anymore. There are so many KQs. When I got it, there weren't many KQs, but now there are thousands of KQs. I can't tell you which call area is up to Qs, but there's thousands of them. So it's getting a little bit easier because it's kind of, if I'm listening to, I hear a KQ and I perk up and I go, oh no, it's not me, it's KQ4. I think the 4 call area has up to KQs. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. And I don't have a receive antenna. I've never experienced one. I don't know how you would talk if you have a receive antenna. So I think you'd have to have a $3,000 radio to hook up a receive antenna and not melt it when you transmit. So that's it for me. Yeah, thanks for doing that. And this is KQ0Q, back to KC0NSC.
Okay, Lance. Out of 3 radios that I have that will work HF, all 3 of them have a separate port for a receive-only antenna. And all 3 of them, it's an RCA connector. So, I don't know, none of my radios cost that much money. So, there you have it. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for your comments. We'll catch you in the second round. And next on the list is Curtis, KF0KRZ. Welcome aboard. How are you tonight?
Okay, Tom, well, thank you. I guess first thing I'll do, I'll just do kind of a signal check with my new little handheld FT70D with my new antenna that just came in this week, so I just wonder how this is making it. I kind of stepped outside here, so I'm not broadcasting through the garage door, but just wonder how I'm hitting the repeater from here.
There's just a tiny amount of white noise. You're perfectly readable.
Okay, yeah, I guess with 5 watts, I'd at least be, small antenna here. It ought to at least be nice and go outside the garage door, not make it bash through that. So, anyways, yeah, receive antennas is pretty much just because what's ever on top of my radio here, most of what I've got. But I'll try to catch you on the next round. Thank you, Tom, for running things tonight. KF0, KRZ.
All right, Curtis, thanks for checking in. Thanks for your comments. We'll catch you in the second round in just a bit here. Next we have Billy, KC0KZY here in Springfield.
Yeah, KC0NSC, KC0KZY here. Yeah, sometimes I don't make it to the TechNet, but it worked out tonight. I was able to get on and had a good day today. And did some DXing this afternoon and made my first contact into Nicaragua. And then had some contacts on 10 meters all over the United States. So it was a relaxing afternoon. And talking about antennas, I went all out on my 2-meter antenna. I got me a 2-meter stick mounted on top of a round baking sheet for my ground plane. And I went all out there, but hey, it works. That's what counts. And KC0NSC, back to you, Tom.
All right, Billy, I'm glad you were able to make it. Hey, thanks a lot for checking in. Thanks for your comments. And we'll catch you in the second round in just a little bit. We go now to KE0ZKM, Marvin in Battlefield. How are you tonight?
Doing good this evening, Tom. KE0ZKM here. Good evening, Tom, and everybody else on the net. Well, I was able to make my first international contact today. I was able to reach Argentina on 10 meters. So I'm kind of happy. With my little antenna, little stubby antenna on the roof, I was able to get to Argentina and make a contact there. As far as the receive antenna, I've only got my 2, so I don't have any, I'm not that fancy yet.
Oh, Marvin, I thought you were putting up a loop skywave antenna.
I am, as soon as I get one of my ropes back up. My wonderful grandchildren, I love them to death, decided to pull on one of my ropes and pulled it out of the tree. So I've got to get that one back up so I can do it.
Well, you know what? If you can't tune up on that antenna to transmit, it would sure make a good receive antenna in my estimation. Now, maybe they wanted to play jump rope. Who knows what children get in their heads these days. Anyway, thanks for checking in, and thanks for your comments. We'll catch you in the second round in just a little bit. That's the bottom of the list. This is KC0NSC, and this is the Sunday Night TechNet. I'm looking for over-the-air check-ins. Please come now.
Zero Bravo.
All right, David, I got you on the list. Go ahead. I'm looking for over-the-air check-ins. Please come now.
Oh, nothing new for me. I'll come back.
Oh, you're kind of quiet tonight. All right, David, I got you on the list. Go ahead. Okay. I thought I could get you talking, but hey, sometimes the mood just isn't there. Hey, Dave, thanks for checking in. We'll catch you in the second round in a little bit. Once again, I'm out of contacts. This is KC0NSC. Please check in to the Sunday Night TechNet. Come now. There. Hey, Dave, thanks for checking in. We'll catch you in the second round in a little bit. Once again, I'm out of contacts. Okay, we got that pregnant pause thing going on. Let's go back up to the top and begin our second round with KC0WSC, Robert out in Republic.
Alrighty, I want to start out here with thanking KE6GAE for running the YouTube thing. That allowed me to hear what this microphone sounds like. Whenever you're transmitting or just talking in general, you never really hear what you sound like. So it was kind of nice to be able to jump over to YouTube and check that out. That was real handy. Okay, I've kind of got a dumb, well, there is no such thing as a dumb question. Maybe it's just an uninformed question. What would be the purpose of a receive-only antenna if you've got a transceiver? Now, obviously, if you've got a receiver only, fully understand that. You don't depend on tuning and things like that. But is there an advantage of having a receive-only antenna when you have a transceiver. Because I was just checking, and my TS2000 does have a port for an HF receive antenna. Just want to know if there's an advantage to it, or what. Other than that, hey, I'll see if I can get this subject really going. Back to you, Tom, KC0WSC.
Okay, Robert. Let's say you have one of those antennas that have just a stubby little portion on 10 meters, like a couple of fellows around have, and it doesn't have the greatest receive. But if you have a receive-only antenna, then you can construct an antenna that will receive much better than maybe your beam. It can be omnidirectional, or you could set it up directional with a beverage antenna. There are a lot of advantages to having giant ears. The only thing you have to remember, though, is if you can hear better than you can transmit, you may not be able to talk to all of the people you can hear. And there's other things going on with that. And, of course, we used to have separate receivers and transmitters, and so that became popular back then, to have a receive antenna and a transmit antenna. If you have a receiver and a transmitter separate, there obviously has to be some kind of relay to turn off the receiver so that you don't blow it up. The front end would be damaged if you didn't turn the receiver off when you're transmitting. So there's all kinds of reasons to have a receive-only antenna. And if anybody else comes up with any ideas, please tell the group. Thank you, Bob. We'll get back with you in the 73 round in a little bit. We'll move on to KE6GAE, David in Rogersville.
KC0NSC and the rest of the net. This is KE6GAE. Well, you pretty much answered Robert's question on the receiver antenna. But yeah, and you did touch on the fact that you might have bigger ears than you got transmit capabilities. But I feel if you can put a receiver antenna up, sometimes if you've got a compromised antenna, it's the best way to go. But if you've got good tuned antennas, you don't necessarily need a receiver antenna. It's more for the compromised antennas, I feel, in my opinion. And I'm just a dummy over here in the corner in Rogersville. Other than that, that's about all we got for this round, so we'll pass it back to Net Control. KE6GAE, back to Net Control.
All right, David, thank you, and thanks for running the live stream. That's a boon to a lot of people that want to know how they sound, and so great doing that. There's another one I thought of. If you have a near-instant vertical skywave antenna that shoots straight up so that you can talk in the local area, you might want a receive antenna that receives in a different pattern than the NBIS or NIBS, whatever. That antenna really different. A lot of people run them though because they want to talk one state over or something like that. Hey, thanks for your additional comments, and we'll catch you in the 73 round. We'll go now to KC0QA, Richard here in Springfield.
Well, I'm going to add one to your topic. I have a book that I have had since I was quite a youngster, and this book is probably just about as old as I am. And I was digging through some stuff the other day, and I found it, and it is like 100 jokes or something like that. But these are one of those dad-type jokes, so I'll throw this one out. What kind of bow cannot be untied? And that's all my second round, KC0QA.
limbo. Maybe you can't untie that. I don't know. Somebody will have the answer for that. Thanks for your additional comments, Richard. You stick around. We'll catch you in the 73 round. Next on the list, we're back to KE0MAD, Sean, out in Aurora.
Yeah, all right. My turn again. Well, I'll go with Rainbow. But anyway, as far as receive antennas go, what is a big advantage to having a receive antenna is you want to have an antenna that is simple. Just a simple wire, broadbanded, that will receive on all bands. But you don't want it to receive great on any band. You want it to receive good across all the bands and omnidirectional if possible. And the reason why you don't want to have it be a great receiver, you want it to be an okay one, is you want to be able to use your receive antenna to discriminate. You want to push out lightning and or strong adjacent signals. That's the main reason for a receive antenna, is to not overload the radio. When you got a good, strong, real busy band, have a good receive antenna that just works okay, and you'll be able to work that busy band a lot better. That's all I got this round. K0M8.
All right. Thanks for those comments, Sean. In the early 80s, I lived in Salem, Arkansas for a while on a piece of property that had a barn in the back, and it was about 600 feet from the back door of the house to the barn, and I ran a long wire all the way out there. Just a simple long wire antenna. And I'm telling you, that receive was great on that antenna. Didn't transmit very well. Was very hard to tune up. But, man, the receive was gangbusters. So, I don't know. I did with what I had. Stick around. We'll catch you in the 73 round. And we'll go to KQ0Q. Hey, I said it right, Lance.
I don't have anything really to say about a receive antenna because I don't have one and I don't know. So, you know, what Sean was talking about, I kind of don't. I understand the concept, I guess, and I think MFJ makes some boxes where you can null out the noise by having the receive antenna, but I still don't understand how you interface it, and I assume you still have to protect it from being overloaded when you transmit, so it's probably a little more complicated than hanging a wire out the window. But what do I know? So with that, I'll send it back to you. KC0NSC KQ0Q.
All right, Lance, thanks for your additional comments. And I have to say that for a lot of people, a receive antenna is what you've got. You know, most hams run with what they have. But yeah. Sean's idea is certainly valid, and I've heard plenty of that. It's a good piece of information. Next on the list, KF0KRZ, Curtis, here in Springfield. What's going on?
Okay, well, thank you, Tom. We're round two here, I guess a question that I come up here, of course, I'm a 2-meter guy trying to understand HF, so it's probably a bad way to start. But so in your antenna tuner, when you tune your antennas, aren't you doing that both ways? Isn't that going out and coming back? And how fine do you tune that? I mean, every time you change a little frequency on a 40 meters, you adjust the antenna as you go, or got me a little baffled, but I'll put that out. I'm sure it'll be explained. But anyways, KF0 KRZ round 2.
All right. Yeah, definitely. You have to tune up every little bit on a band like 40 meters for transmit. Receive. If you have a separate receive antenna, it may be tuned or untuned. So depends on how you hook it up. A lot of tuners do not have a separate connection for a receive-only antenna, but they do have a twin lead, most of them, input, and that would be probably what you'd want to do if you're running a receive-only antenna and you want to tune it. Most of my antenna tuners are built into the radios. I do have one 969 antenna tuner that I inherited from somebody who got it burned up, and I had to do some work on it. And it has that, and plus it has a dummy load in there. So there are all kinds of choices and ways to go. All right, Curtis, thanks for your additional comments and your question. We'll catch you in the 73 round in just a little bit, and we'll move on to KC0KZY, Billy here in Springfield. Your additional comments, please.
Yeah, KC0NSC, KC0KZY here. Well, yeah, I did do a little work here today. I got my OD104 microphone wired to work on my Kenwood 520, thanks to KE0. I've lost, anyway, David. Anyway, I forgot his call sign. But, yeah, I got that thing working good. I don't know, I think I may like it better than that MC50 I was using. And, better looking, Mike. You know, that thing's chrome looks like brand new on this thing. Anyhow, that's it for this, and I'm going to have to go, so I'm going to make this my 73 round, and I'll just tell everybody, have a happy, safe Thanksgiving, 73s. Thanks for doing the net, Tom. KC0KZY, back to you.
All right, I've got you marked as done. Hey, thanks for being on here. Thanks for the comments you did make. Sorry you have to run away. We'll catch you later. I'm glad the D104 is working for you. We used to call them chicken chokers, by the way. KC0KZY, 73 from KC0NSC in the group. We'll catch you later. We're going to move on to KE0ZKM, Marvin, out in Battlefield.
KE0ZKM, nothing more to add, just sitting here just trying to learn as much as I can. So something I found is, or what I was thinking is, a separate receive antenna. Wouldn't that be handy if you were doing split? You could receive on one antenna and transmit on another one?
Yeah, especially if you tune both of them. Yeah, that's a valid, except now you're talking about if you're working splits, you might want to be able to transmit on both antennas. But yeah, if you're going to work split and you need one for receive and one for transmit, then of course you want to use your active antenna for the frequency you're going to talk on. Not too much split going on these days. There were some guys in Europe that you had to receive them in one place and split and transmit to them in another. And every once in a while you run into one of those guys. But not every transmitter does splits. So if you don't have two separate VFOs, it's hard to do splits. All right, we'll catch you in the 73 round, and we'll move on to NE0B. What's going on, David? Okay, we're going to mark him as having checked in for the numbers only. And that is the bottom of the list. And there, we are at the bottom of the second round. Is there anybody else out there that would like to get on? This is KC0NSC looking for check-ins. Come now. Alright, got nobody out there, so I'm going to move back up to the top and start our 73 round with KC0WSC, Robert in Republic. Go ahead, sir.
Alright, question answered. That's why you have a TechNet. Anyway, well, that's about all I got. Well, of course, I wasn't even thinking about that when we started, so like I say, good information flows this way. Anyhow, everybody have a good one. Have a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully with friends and family, and everybody be safe. Traffic's going to be nuts out there. And make sure you take a jacket. It's supposed to get right down nippy this week. Other than that, that's all I got. So 73s to Tom and the group, KC0WSC.
All right, Bob. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for being on the TechNet tonight. Sure enjoyed your comments and everything else. So, yeah, I'm going to stay off the highways and byways. I don't get out much anyway. But, yeah, that's a good way to get yourself hurt, is to get in the way of somebody in a rush to Grandma's house. Uh-oh. Yeah, we don't want to see that happen. KC0WSC73 from KC0NSC and the group. We'll catch you next time. And we'll move on to KE6GAE David out in Rogersville.
KC0NSC, the rest of that. This is KE6GAE. Well, it's been a pretty good net tonight. Looking forward to the Thanksgiving this year. My youngest one and her husband are coming down, so we're actually going to have Thanksgiving here at the house this year. Other than that, that's about all I've got for tonight. Most of the questions were answered. I don't know if I missed some on the last couple of people, but I was messing with a couple of things. Still doing my research on the M17. Other than that, hopefully everybody has a good week. And don't talk to anybody before Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving. And yeah, temperatures are definitely going to turn off cold. So we'll pass it back to Net Control. Thanks for doing the net tonight, Tom. KE6GAE, back to Net Control.
All right, David, thanks for checking in. Thanks for running the live stream. And thanks for all your comments. We'll catch you next time. KE6GAE73 from KC0NSC in the group. Next in line, KC0QA, Richard here in Springfield.
Howdy, howdy. I was thinking I had one more person to go, but I had too much soda. Had to make it quick. Only one person guessed, and the only two people guessed, and one person got it right. What kind of bow cannot be untied, and that would be a rainbow. Dave, GAE, go look up on YouTube. There's a guy that does some M17 stuff, Tech Minds or something like that's the name of his channel, I think. And he did a video somewhere about M17. It's one of those things that's kind of yet up and coming. I looked into it at one point and wasn't enough information out there now, so maybe I'll look back into it again. Everybody have a good week. We'll talk to you next week. KC0QA.
All right, Richard, thanks for all that, and the little chuckle that went with it. We'll catch you next time. KC0QA73 from KC0NSC in the group. Next on the list is Sean, KE0MAD out in Aurora.
Yeah. Last round. Surprised I made it this long. Anyway, anybody wants to get into a receive antenna and your radio doesn't have a receive antenna port, all you got to do is buy what's called a Dow key, a Delta Oscar Whiskey Dow key, KEY. They're not too expensive. You can find them used on QRZ for sometimes $20, $30, and it's just nothing more than an antenna relay that's powered by either 12 volt, a little coil, or sometimes 120 volt. You have to build a little relay to switch it using the output on the back of the radio. Your radio, all radios have a switched jack on the back for activating an amplifier, and that's how you would activate your Dow key. You would have the normally closed position as your receive antenna, and the normally open position is your transmit antenna. Yeah, pretty easy to hook one up if you don't have an antenna port for it. Anyway, hey, hope everybody has a great week, and yeah, stay warm. It is supposed to get cold. KC0NSC, back to net control.
All right, Sean, thanks for that extra piece of information. I remember that thing. Yeah. All right, you take care out in Aurora. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Thanks for being on the net. Thanks for all your comments. KE0MAD73 from KC0NSC and the group. We'll move on to KQ0Q. Lance, your 73 round.
Yeah, Tom and everyone else. I don't have anything new, so I'm just going to say, everybody have a good Thanksgiving, a good week. Those of you that are unlucky enough to still be working, hopefully you'll get Thursday and Friday off. Have a great time. And with that, I'm sending it back to net, KC0NSC, KQ0Q.
All right, Lance, thanks for being here. Thanks for all your comments. Enjoy the rest of the week. My goodness, celebrate richly. KQ0Q73 from KC0NSC in the group. We'll catch you next time. We'll go on now to KF0KRZ Curtis here in Springfield, your 73 round.
Okay, well, thank you, Tom. Like I say, some of this stuff gets a little complicated. Like I say, maybe ask me questions on, wiring up Christmas lights. I'm fairly good at those. Got mine up and didn't have any major problems, but some of the stuff gets a little beyond me, I think, rather quickly. But anyways, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. If you want to look up something interesting, go to YouTube and type in what happened to the Mayflower with Paul Harvey. That's kind of an interesting story if you haven't heard it. I hope everybody has a good time with friends and family, and safe trips if you're traveling. 73, so KF0KRZ.
All right. I remember listening to Paul Harvey and now the rest of the story. It was always his hook. It was a lot of fun. Thanks, Curtis, for checking in and making all your comments. Have an enjoyable week, for sure. KF0KRZ 73 from KC0NSC and the group. Next on the list, KE0ZKM Marvin out in Battlefield.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for running the net. KE0ZKM. As far as Thanksgiving goes, I am stupidly blessed. All of my kids live within 30 miles, and we get together on Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I get to have my kids. Part of my kids will be here Thanksgiving. All of them will be here for Christmas. So, Dave, that's awesome news. You get to have Thanksgiving with family. I just want you to say amen. That, like I said, I'm stupidly blessed. I get to spend a lot of time with all of my kids. On that note, I'm going to say 73s, Tom. Everyone have a wonderful week and have a very happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Guys, thanks for checking in and making all those comments. if I want to visit my relatives in Missouri, I have to go down to Willow Springs and go to the cemetery. Most of them have passed on. Don't know of any left here. And my kids are out in Colorado, so I'm kind of on my own. That's called yo-yo. You're on your own. Yeah, okay. KE0ZKM 73 from KC0NSC in the group. That's the bottom of the list. We had 9 check-ins tonight. Pretty good participation. Is there anyone else out there that would like to make a last-minute check-in? I'll listen. Or comments. Oh, nothing. So I'm going to close this net. I'm going to release the repeater to normal usage, and y'all have a great one. 7-3 from KC0NSC. Catch you next time.
All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by the net tonight. Stop by. Next time the ones that stop by, jump in the chat. Say hi. But if you are on the stream watching, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Put down in the comments below whether you like the stream or not. Hopefully we'll be doing some more. I'm actually working on a video right now for the stream. So we'll say goodnight all, 73, and hopefully everybody has a great Thanksgiving. And sorry about that, I just put that across the radio and was accidentally stepping on the pedal. KE6GA. Alright guys, we'll talk at you later. KE6GA.